This might be the best smart gym platform if it only changed these couple of things. Hi, my name is Discipline Dave, and this channel is dedicated to all things getting you fit at home. If you're looking to get fit at home without going to a commercial gym, this is the channel for you. I have a bunch of workouts, reviews on equipment, and I show you everything and all things home gym. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So there's a lot of different smart gym platforms out there, and this one is called the Motion Space S1 Pro. So I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, this is something that was a pleasant surprise. I did not expect to like it this much. I actually got this in the mail about a month ago, and I already use a smart gym. I really like using a smart gym, and I was thinking, how can this be any different or better? Now, after I got this in the mail and I took it out of the box, the first thing I noticed was the quality. This is a really good build. I really love that Gunsmoke metal type of finish there. Everything feels very solid. I really like the handles and the bar that it comes with. Another accessory that's an added bonus that I don't see a lot of smart gyms come with is a squat belt. And I recently became a fan of squat belts because I just reviewed one a couple of weeks ago, one that's by Vector Athletics, and I really like that one. So it was a breath of fresh air to receive one in the box for this one. The next thing that really surprised me about the machine was actually how tiny it was folded. I did not expect it to be so slim, and I looked at this and I'm like, okay, if this thing works, then I'll be able to use this in a lot of different spaces that I wasn't before. As I said, I have other smart gyms at home. I review a lot of smart gyms, so the house is pretty cluttered with them. And I'll tell you that this one right here probably has the least amount of footprint as far as all the other smart gym platforms I've used before in the past. Right away, I knew that this was going to be Mrs. Discipline Dave approved. It was a little heavy coming out of the box, but once you have it out of the box, it does run on wheels and it folds and unfolds. So you unfold it in order to do your exercises. So once I did that and I connected some handles and things like that, I began to start to do some exercises. Now the way that it works is that you just plug it in the wall and then it automatically turns on. And there's like a little dial that you can change resistance, and it has a lot of different modes. It has standard, eccentric, and isokinetic. Yeah, that's right, isokinetic. I'll explain later. So it comes with a few attachments. It comes with some handles, a straight bar, a squat weight belt, and some ankle straps. So I started off with some bicep curls just to get a feel of the machine. And the thing that I noticed immediately was how smooth the cables went through the machine itself. Now, as far as that smoothness, I know it's going to be very hard to kind of catch this on camera here, but I've tried a lot of different smart gyms and I love how the ease of use of going through. There wasn't any type of rubbing, it wasn't a lot of noise, and that's another great thing about this. A lot of these systems, once you turn up the resistance, it has like a high fan noise. This right here was the quietest one I've ever used before. The fan noise was so light. It wasn't making all this noise every time I turned it on or turned it off. It was actually the same amount of noise when the resistance was on and when the resistance was off. So after I did a couple of sets of exercises, the thing that I really loved the most about it was the stability of the machine. The platform itself, it has a good weight to it, and with your weight on top of it, it really makes it super stable. And if you really want to develop muscle, and if you really want to focus and isolate those muscles, you really need good stability, especially when you're doing things like leg exercises. This was probably the greatest feel I had with a squat or doing just leg exercises, period, than any of the smart gym devices that I've used before in the platform category. There was no rocking, there was no movement, because when you're doing really high compound exercises, you don't want to be thinking about about, I wonder if this machine is going to break on me, if it's wobbly, if I'm too much left or too much right. I felt super stable, super strong when I was doing heavy compound exercises. So after trying various exercises, I wanted to try these different modes. So the standard mode is self-explanatory. You have equal resistance when you're pulling up or down from the machine. Now the eccentric mode works in a way where you get more resistance when the cable is going down into the machine. So an example like a bicep curl. When you're coming up, you're getting that resistance, but then it's pulling you heavier even down. And those negative reps are great for building muscle. And this machine is perfect for something like that. So it's really good if you really want to exhaust the muscle and get those extra muscle fibers by getting that negative resistance in eccentric mode. Now the isokinetic mode. This is something I had to kind of read the manual about because I didn't really know what it meant, but apparently what it does is it recognizes your speed of repetition to see how strong you are at that particular rep, and it adds resistance if it's really easy for you. So when you start really going fast, that resistance gets heavy and heavier. It might be better just to show you than to tell you. So check this out. Oh yeah, if I go fast, oh, it's a lot of resistance. Let's go slower. Oh, see? There we go. That's interesting. Fast! Oh yeah! All right, slow it down. Easier. Now that was interesting. Now this is something I haven't seen in other machines before, and this is just another level of completely exhausting those muscle fibers so you can rebuild them for better gains. Now something else that they've added is that it has a Bluetooth remote that can clamp to the bar, or you can kind of just take it off and put it in different places and things like that to make it so that you can put on the resistance by just hitting the button. And it makes it so that you can do your exercises safely. So with that said, let's say if you want to do something like a squat, which is normally kind of dangerous to do at home if you don't have a spotter, if you don't have a rack that you have to spend a lot of money on, and even then you've got the plates and stuff like that. Well, this solves that problem. So you can go ahead and turn the dial to the resistance level that you want. And when you put the bar up on your traps when you're getting ready to do the squat, it's at a very loose resistance, so you can get yourself set, all right? And then from there, all you have to do is hit that button on the bar. It's going to be right there next to your finger, and then the resistance comes on. So you can squat heavy safely. Now, I've seen this before on other smart gyms, but the thing about this one I really like is that the button is very big. Some of the other smart gyms that I've used before, the button's very small. It's hard to kind of find it. And if it moves a little bit and you have it on you, you're gonna have to do some type of weird jujitsu to get the button right by your finger in order to get that resistance on and off. Now, I tried a lot of exercises and I was able to do so many exercises with this device. But with that said, there was some exercises that I would like a full smart gym that you can do, ones that stand up vertically with a platform where I can do things like cable flies and stuff like that, which I couldn't really do on this device. But for a lot of exercises, it was great for, and even better than those vertical devices. Now, I know I'm saying all these good things about it, but there's definitely some things, if they just change these couple of things, I'm telling you, this thing would be perfect. Like for instance, with the straight bar, I love that they have the carabiner hooks on the ends, but I would love to see one in the middle. So that way I could work on one side to get that center of gravity right there in the middle, because it's very stable just to use it on one side. Like, I didn't think it would be, but I did quite a few exercises on one side of the machine, then I would switch to the other one, and it didn't move, come up, or anything like that. So I think if they add like a loop there in the middle for a carabiner hook, that would really open up even more things you can do with the machine. Also, with that remote clamp that I was talking about before, I love that it's a big button, but I feel like it needs a little bit more functionality. One of the things I really didn't like is that, let's say I was getting ready to do that squat and I got the bar on my traps and I realized, like, you know, this is not enough weight for me. I want to add more. I have to take it off, you know, I have to go and dial at the bottom of the corner there to get the resistance. I think if they go ahead and add a plus and a minus resistance on there so you can change it like right on the fly, that will just, oh, make it so great. I mean, if they came out with another version of that button there, because it just connects via Bluetooth, I'm sure it doesn't cost that much to make it. Like, that would be a game changer for the machine. And with the dial that's on the machine there, I think they have a missed opportunity with making it so that you can turn it on and off with just your foot. Because I had a tendency every single time when I wanted to make the resistance come off, it's just to tap it with my foot. It'll make it a lot easier than me bending down every single time to turn it off and on. Now, you can kind of do it if you can just get your toe there in the center, but if they raise the middle portion of the button up a little bit more instead of having that ring around it, it'll be a lot easier to press, and maybe make that surface rubber there so you can feel confident that's not going to break if you have a heavy foot. And if we're going to add that foot there, I mean, these are just my dreams here, then put a plus or minus also on the machine that I can hit just directly with my foot. I think it'll make things a lot more seamless than constantly bending down to hit the button. And speaking of the button here, I wish there was a way that you could set it to make it double tap when you put on the resistance, because sometimes when I was trying to do an exercise, I would accidentally hit the button and the resistance would come on, and it's very easy to make those accidental touches.
Resistance has been released.
That was weird. Now, a smart gym that I reviewed before, the Speediance Gym Monster, had that same issue, but they came out with an update to make it so that you can double tap, triple tap, whatever you want to make it so that the resistance comes on and off. And this is something that they fixed with an update. So hopefully this machine could also do the same thing. And the good thing about it, all these gripes are very minor gripes here. I mean, even with all that and they didn't change it, it's a very good value for what you get. And when I speak of value here, the machine itself, it is $2,000. Okay, I get it. I know it's a lot, but you do get $500 off. I do have a coupon code. If you put in that code, you click the link in the description, you get some money off of it. And now we're in that space of 1,500 where other high quality smart gym platforms, it's a really good competitive space at that $1,500. If it was the 2,000, I would see like, I don't know about that, but at 1,500 for what you get, the tech that you get, and also how great and well built the device is, I actually think this is a good value. And if you live in an apartment or a small space sequestered to a room, this is something that you can fold and put away and it won't take up a lot of space, which adds that extra element that I really like about it. Now, I did mention before about how I wish that I could do some things that a vertical machine does for like chest exercises with cable flies. When I was going on their website, I did see that there's a bench that you can get with it. Now, I wanted to use my bench, but what I looked at on their website is that they have a special bench that keeps that pressure down on the platform itself, so you can keep that stability when you're doing things like a bench press. Now, I didn't get the bench with mine, but I'm looking forward to trying it out with the bench. And hopefully Motion Space is watching this video and they can send me a bench and I can make a video about it to see if this thing is fully perfect. Because I believe that bench is really going to open up even more exercises. Now, I've been pretty lucky recently because some of the stuff I reviewed lately has been pretty good. So go ahead and check out this video I just recently did of this curl bar that I think is our game changer. And if you want to check out this review here, here's another item that I highly recommend.